Hey guys, all right. So I just want to welcome everyone. Let me just put in my earphones so that you can hear me. I just want to make sure we have a good recording. Sometimes it can get a little. Okay. So first off, thank you for spending your Friday night with me. I just want to welcome any of you. Like I said, I know it's Friday night, but I want to talk specifically about niche and your programs. And I also want you to feel free to ask any questions. So this is all about you tonight. First, I just want to hear where you guys are coming from. So you can put right in the chat box where you guys are from. That would be awesome. Anybody? Anybody? All right. If you're shy, I will just keep talking. So my name is Rachel Feldman. I work with coaches who want to build online and offline businesses. My story, hello. Oh, Jen is from Colorado. Hello, Jen. So my story, and I was just talking to a coach about this earlier, Donna from North Carolina. Love that. Donna, nice to have you here. I got to speak today to a coach. She just graduated from the Institute for Integrated Nutrition, just like myself. And this is what she said to me. She said, look, I don't even know where to start. I have a lot of information. I am starting on my website, but I just don't know where to start with my clients. And I told her that I was in the same exact place. So I just want to, even for all of you on here, to actually grab a pen. Can everyone do that? Even if you have to get up from where you are. So I actually started to sit down, and as we were going through our phone conversation, I said to her, what is really important to you? When you think about your client, when you think about like what you have gone through, what has worked for you? Because she asked me, do you think that cleansing is really important for you? Do you think that detox is really important? And I said, well, that was for me, but that was my story. So I want you, like I said, this is going to be interactive, guys. So I want even to grab one of these. Even if you got to get your tuchus up from this chair. And yes, we have a Q&A box, so feel free to ask or drop a question in the chat box. I want you to take out a piece of paper and a pen. And I want you to start actually writing down, what does your niche want? So I want you first to ask yourself the question. We're going to do the niche exercise. What is the wake-up problem that your niche has? Is it that they're tired? Is it that they are lacking energy? Is it that they have digestive issues? Is it that, you know, they have, you know, body issues? Is it that they feel out of control in their life? Do they come home feeling fried from a long time, you know, long day at the office, and they don't know what to eat? Are they overwhelmed and, you know, they're just hitting the drive-throughs because they feel like making food when they get home is like really difficult? So I want you even to think about, what are those issues? And I want you even to step back into your own story. And this is the really pivotal part, because when we step back into our own story, we think about what actually happened to me. So it may not even be the current you. It's the you that actually was probably even when you entered school, or maybe even 15 years ago or 10 years ago. So if anyone is willing to actually drop in the Q&A what that was like, you know, 10 years ago, then we can start to even think about, what is that niche specific program that is great for your business? So now think about those wake up problems. Is it that, you know, you don't have the energy and so you're drinking coffee all day? So what are the actual problems? But then how do we get to building out an actual correct sales funnel? And the sales funnel should go like this. You have your entry points. These are your opt-in freebies. Then from your opt-in freebies, there is an experience. So whether it's an opt-in freebie or it's a PowerPoint and a webinar, and that's why in the Done For You programs, and you'll even see, let me just share my screen. Bear with me. So you even see, like, for example, let's just even take weight loss, and we'll go for the person and we'll just like niche this out. For the person who is, and let's just call her Mary, okay? So Mary has a full-time job. Mary has 2 children. Mary is tired. She's in her, she's like 38, she has been complaining that she is gaining weight around her middle section. She even feels lightheaded at different times of the day. She also notices that when she eats certain foods, like her hands kind of swell up. She doesn't know what that is about. She also notices that, when she's sleeping, she's waking up at like these weird times of the night. She's been a little constipated lately. She comes to you and she says in her strategy session, I just don't know what goes on. I have this like weird metallic taste. I have a white coating on my tongue. I can't lose weight no matter what I do. And I just feel off. I don't feel happy anymore. I don't feel complete. Now, you have another person. So let's just write this down. We have Mary. So these are our avatars. Then we have, let's say, Sally. Sally is type A driven, right? Sally is working like Wall Street, or she's in Chicago, or she's in LA, or she's that type A driven mom that everything is perfect. The toys are put away and they're in every perfect container, right? We all know those moms. And she has gained weight. She doesn't even know why. She's eating perfectly. She's going to the gym. I had a client just like this. She's going to the gym. She's doing the same workout she's done for years, and yet she's gaining weight. So when you think about these 2 personalities, you think, okay, so what is my niche? Well, is it weight loss? Who am I really speaking to? When you niche your programs and you think about what is right, so yes, could it be easy weight loss? 100%. Could it be sugar? 100%. Would I take Mary or Sally on a gut program? I don't think I would. Would I take Mary or Sally on mindset makeover? I'm not sure, because both of them seem like, I don't know if Sally is just there yet to understand, because she is like, I need a plan. Now, maybe if she wanted to come to you for one-on-one, and you can get her to be there. But if she's the person that's like, I need a plan, I need you to do this, it might take some sessions and understanding, like, hey, Sally, I know you feel that it's this way, but like, here's going to be a different kind. What I found usually was that I needed to kind of go the food route first and then hit them with the fact that it was really about mindset. So when you're thinking about your programs, you're thinking about creating that signature system, you want to think, okay, so if Mary needs the same program that Sally does, what would fit both of them? So that you're not like either having so many different programs, but that you're really signifying a system. So maybe it's that you have a basic cleanse. So maybe Mary's like, you know what? You're right. I've seen Alejandra younger. I love Gwyneth Paltrow. I've seen her so many times. And Sally's like, oh yeah, I bought even her cookbook. So both Mary and Sally identify with that. So having the clean eating program, because Basic and Rockstar has that, would really work. Then moving them into easy weight loss, or possibly revitalize, because maybe Mary and Sally say, you know what, I really need a program that has foods that are really easy to cook for my kids too. But I need to make sure that I have a weight loss program in there for me. which is why I created Revitalize. At the same time, you might say, okay, well, let me really think about my system now. I start somebody out with a detox or a cleanse, or we call it a jumpstart or clean eating. I move them into my one-on-one. So maybe that is a single session. And this is what I said to the woman today that I talked to. I said, I know this goes against many ideas. And yes, we know, does a single session, is that really going to create long-lasting results for anybody? No. But what the single session does is it's the test drive. And the single session is what saved my business. And it allowed people to come in who were non-committal. And it also allowed me to say, oh yeah, you could come, and why don't we just go over in that single session and you get easy weight loss. And I was able to charge $150 or $197, and you got that program. There's a great question. Etsy is asking, Etsy's saying, so glad I made it here. I thought you were gonna ask something about the single session, because so many people are losing money because you're not doing a single session. So when I see a work with me page, a really great work with me page, and I showed one the other day for people who bought the Mindset Makeover, it's in your master classes. People who have great work with me and great programs take you through a funnel. Your funnel is going to show a single session here. This is the non-committal person right here. Then it's going to take you through a program right here. The sweet spot, the niche. This is going to be able to speak to your niche, and this is going to be something you can do online and offline. And I want you to know how vital this is, because whether you're a new coach, an existing coach, or you desire to rebrand, this part, this sweet spot, and people say, you know, is this, what is that sweet spot for the signature package that I talked about last night? So if you didn't hear the replay last night, I really encourage you to, because the signature package, it's not just a program. It's almost like it's your signature system. It's like, what do you do to get healthy? That's when you're talking about longevity of a 6-month program. Because if I just say to you, hey, you're gonna sign up for 6 months with me, you get 2 50-minute sessions and handouts and recipes, is that really appealing? So I see so many people who say, you know, done for you programs are these cookie cutter things, but it's not really cookie cutter, because I see so many coaches who aren't making money because they don't have systems. They spend a lot of money on a website, too much time on Instagram. And I'm not saying that Instagram is not worthy of your time, too much time in these areas that are not serving you to build your niche and your brand. So if you really back up and say, okay, how can I serve Mary and Sally? How could I actually sit here in this middle zone? And then what can I use in my work with me? And what could be here in the middle zone can also be in your work with me. Because Revitalize could be extended, or sugar or gut could be in your work with me. Okay. Coach D, my niche is diabetes prevention, and my primary focus is for people to eat smart, I love this, move more, and stress less. Could you recommend a system I could build from the spring product line? D, one, I just have to say VIP shout out, because guys, whoever is on this, the clarity of how D presented what she said shows that she's been doing work in this area. And just turn on an extra light, guys. Sorry that you were looking at my neck. It's getting a little dark here. So yes, let me just say that. And one, you know, as coaches, you know, I love that we are working in prevention, because as a health coach myself, I don't make claims, I don't diagnose. But for a lot of us, we've gone through our own health issues. For me, it was an autoimmune, It's ulcerative colitis. It was having a myriad of health issues. And so I always spoke from my experience, my story, allergies, hormonal issues. But people would say, can you help me get off this medication? I'm like, I don't do that. And I'm happy to partner with your doctor, your chiropractor, your acupuncturist, or introduce you to some great people we can work in collaboration with together. So yeah, let's walk through that, you know, Dee. So let's even walk through per the work of like Paul Pitchford or Dr. Morse or Mark Hyman or any of these blood sugar, Mark Hyman, for example, or Rita Marie Loscanto, my good friend. If liver is toxic, if liver is congested, or Annalyn Weitz-Gittleman, my other good friend, if liver is congested and toxic, what happens? Bile flow gets hampered, gallbladder, and we start to get these gallstones. And then what happens? Digestion starts to get hampered as well. We always think, oh, digestion is going awry. And so we think that it is just, you know, the intestinal flora. It's not just the intestinal flora. And that the problem is then we're like shoving probiotics. It's not just that. We have to know how the body works, but we don't have to be experts in it. We just have to be knowledgeable. And I always have, you know, empowered my clients. Even I'm like, buy this book, empower yourself. So let's just walk through. Liver gets congested, and what happens? Pancreas gets tired. So all of a sudden, it's either low blood sugar or high, low, high, low, high. Can only do that for so long. So I had hypoglycemia as a kid, and then all of a sudden, as I got older, high sugars. And so if we actually look at a system, and again, this would just be something I would look at, I would say, what do we have to do first? We have to really cleanse the body. And often in cleansing, the detox is not like cleanse and you're starving and you're drinking like beet juice and you're doing enemas all day. Cleansing is about resetting. And a lot with diabetes and a lot with like any autoimmune is also about like high stress, high cortisol levels, massive inflammation in the body. And Dee, I'm really sorry to hear about your mom. Very, very sorry. You know, and you know, my heart goes out to you. I don't think people can see what you're posting, but so, and I love people who are passionate, because knowing your why, guys, and your niche, I always say to coaches, which is why I know Dee is going to be successful, is that when you can align your why and your niche with a program and a system, that comes from soul. You know, it comes from soul. And so for me, the reason that detox was so important to me is I knew that the environmental threats and the pollution and the toxins and everything was hampering our body. And so I would say, as far as a system, I would really look, and this is also one of my acupuncturists was diagnosed as a diabetic when he was 14. He believes a lot in the ketogenic, you know, paleo diet. He thinks that it is amazing. And there is so much work done that look at, you know, bulletproof diet and many of the ketogenic diets. So I would look at like a basic cleanse. Of course, you know, doctors are the one that deal with the insulin. We are just the one that support people. But I even in the sugar repair, Dee, in the sugar repair, I even have people in that program. I even have people, you know, I suggest to go get something to test your sugars, because it's really when you're biohacking. And it's not that you want someone to be low on sugars, but when our sugars get high, even if we're not pre-diabetic, even if we don't have a high A1C, what do? We feel groggy, feel lightheaded. We don't feel good. So it's about our energy than being great. So I would say, if this was me, I would look always, and any client who ever came to me, I said, they would be like, I have this, I have this, I have this. And in the beginning of my business, people were coming to me with a lot of health issues. And I attracted those because those were the people that came to me from my own story. And I was like, wow, where are the people who just want goji berries? But I didn't attract those people, which was fine. So I knew that I needed to create a system. So I looked at the detox as a place for me to get a baseline. So that's how I always looked at it. It was like, if you were coming to me on cheese and dairy and grains and wheat and what people thought were healthy, I needed a baseline. And food changes a lot for people. I mean, I had one girl came to me who was pretty much bedridden. I mean, it was like, it was crazy what would happen. We didn't even change really, we changed a few things. It was, her parents called me, it really was, it wasn't even a miracle. It was just that we changed some things that she was eating. So I would say detox is the basic for anybody. Like, I've had a few clients that were like, I can do 4 days. I've learned everything. I was like, great. Then you got what you needed. But that was my basic. That was for my one-on-one. That was for anything that I did. I needed a baseline. It also gave me the tools that I believed in for my system. Tongue scraping, skin brushing. And what the programs did for me is they allowed me, instead of recreating the wheel and being like, session, you know, writing, pulling recipes off of Lana's Pantry and Josh Axe and all these places that had simple, clean recipes. Because who wants to make recipes with like 15 ingredients? Just nobody. I needed recipes that had 5 to 6. Because busy people in a busy world are not going to make a recipe. I loved 101 cookbooks back then, but who was going to do that with 12 to 15 ingredients? So I would say cleanse. And then I would look at sugar repair and then infuse into it your own verbiage that is about being pre-diabetic, that is about your own knowledge, so that you really are making that your own signature system. You're coming to me here, you're learning how to clean, you're learning how to get off that sad American diet. That could be the cleanse. Or maybe it's the easy weight loss. Or maybe it's grain-free. So it's almost like you are coming in, you have a basic baseline. Then you're moving to your main program. And your main program could be, you know, in your one-on-one. And that those are the 2 ones that I would really look at. I mean, if you wanted to add another, just to make it a longer program, you could. You could do detox, kind of what I showed last night. You could do detox into grain-free and make that a 30-day program, which is what I had done. You would just in the grain-free, because there are some like raisins in there. You would just have to kind of remove those and then move them into sugar repair. But have people, just like when I was testing my sugars, I was testing probably like 7 times a day. I wanted to see really how my body was reacting to stress, how it was reacting. And this is really when I had a breakthrough in understanding my body and understanding stress and understanding my metabolism and understanding everything. So those would be the 2 that I would really look at. If you wanted to add a third, like I said, I would do detox, or detox and easy weight loss, or detox and grain-free, and then sugar. Kim is saying, I need a system for skin, food intolerances, and anti-inflammatory. And so Kim, if this is in alignment, and again, some people like the word cleanse, some people don't, some people like the word detox, some people like jumpstart, refresh. I mean, but when I think about skin and food intolerances, I mean, that was the reason I created the detox, because the elimination diet, and you can really expand on that. I mean, you could have your clients get the book by Liz Lipsky and really talk to them about the elimination diet. So then I would look at detox, and then I would look at gut, and I would really stay there. But again, you know, for some people, they're like, gut? I would look at, okay, what's marketable? I would really market skin and intolerances and energy. Energy is huge. I mean, if there's gut issues, you have no energy. If there's gut issues, your skin's a mess. And for most people, and you know, we don't talk about this often, but if there's gut issues, there are skin issues and there's gallstones. You know, it's like if one thing's out of balance, guys, and you know, this is why I love Reed Davis so much, which is why I have had him on webinars, and which is why I talk about the functional medicine like FDNN so much, you know, is functional and diagnostic nutrition, is that he talks about the whole system. You know, it's not just this like fix this one piece. It's like if one piece is broken or not in alignment, the whole system collapses. Maybe not overnight, but it will start to collapse. And that's why when you see somebody saying, I don't feel good, I feel tired, you know, all of a sudden they're like, my lower back hurts. One Chinese medicine, that's where the kidneys are. And all of a sudden they're like, I'm not sleeping. We need as much in Ayurvedic medicine. We learn we need sleep. we need energy to sleep as we need to wake up. And all of a sudden the hair is falling out. Thyroid and adrenals. The adrenals are the mommy to the thyroid. So this is why we have to constantly be in tune to nourishing every part, metabolism, energy. And we need the mindset in the food. And that's why, you know, if you do want to focus on both those, that's why we have the mindset. But I think, you know, thank you, Dee, with the big thank you. I love caps. Some people say it's screaming, but I'm all about caps. And share with me the system, and feel free, you know, Dee, sometimes this can get like confusing. I encourage everyone when they're mapping out their system, there is no right or wrong. Remember, you want maybe one do-it-yourself or one program to showcase on your site, or maybe two programs, but make it so they're very different. Make one that's like a low-cost program. I have a few coaches that I'm working with that have low-cost programs to get people in the door, and higher cost one-on-ones, low-cost, you know, programs, and then moving them in to a 3-month program. So, you know, you can make it any different way. I think the problem often is we don't plan. Something I did for a long time. I, you know, was just like, okay, I'm gonna launch. I didn't plan because I couldn't see that far. And I think, you know, too often as coaches, we go through schools and we learn about our niche, or we learn how to coach, or we learn this, but we don't learn how to plan out the year or plan out our business. So I think the biggest thing that we need to do in this new era, and I am going to say that because I'm actually going to write that down. It is a new era, and you know, I listen constantly to Gary Vaynerchuk and people who are not even in the health and wellness space, because they are entrepreneurs at heart all day and all night. And we are in a very new era, and you will see that on Facebook. You will see that even in businesses. You have to be speaking, and it's the 4 C's: core values, content, consistency, connection. Have it right in front of me on my picture vision board of sticky notes. And so think about that constantly, you know, think about what is your system and why is it important to you? Okay, Tammy is saying, I'm thinking detox to revitalize to easy weight loss, sugar to mindset. You're saying too crazy? And no, I don't think so. Oops, I lost my earplug. I don't think it's too crazy. I think that you need to ask yourself, do you want to be doing that where you have a detox on your site as like a low end, kind of almost like tripwire? Do you want to be launching detox 4 times a year? What does your niche need from those programs? Do you want to put revitalize into your one-on-one? Do you want to use easy weight loss? Do you want to put sugar into your one-on-one? Do you want to have 2 levels of your work with me? What about your niche do each of these programs solve? This is the big question, guys. So if you have detox and easy weight loss, those are two great gateway programs. Then you can have revitalize and sugar and mindset. And mindset could really be a 3-month group program, or you could actually have detox leading into mindset, or easy weight loss leading into mindset. And that could be run twice a year, or that could be run once a year. Move revitalize into your work with me. Use easy weight loss or detox as a single session, and you've just got your whole business set. See how like simple that is when you think, oh God, it's like we spend so much energy, like what am I gonna do? And I see so many coaches who buy stuff and then they don't end up using it, when we really could have been sitting there and had our business set. Which leads me to then, if somebody says, I always do the pretend, like, oh yeah, so when you work with me, this, this is how it would look. There are 3 ways to work with me. You can have a single session and I can personalize, a simple detox for you, or one of my programs that supports holistic weight loss, where we don't focus on counting calories, carbs, or fat or points. I teach you how to listen to the intuitive part of your body, the intuitive senses, so you can lose weight. Or you can work with me in my 2-month program. No, guys, this could be revitalize. Or you can work with me in my 6-month program. No, guys, that could actually be, sugar or mindset. So what you're doing is then you're leveling out. You're leveling out the different ways to work with you. So it's just really important for you to sit there and say, how is this actually working? Does that make sense to everyone? And so you're giving people different ways, and you're putting that back in their hands. When somebody says, oh, it's a 6 months, it's like 6 months of doing what? What are we doing together? So Coach Dan, and then Etsy, I'm going to get to just in a sec. I see these, the chats right there. So yeah, okay, let's just talk about single sessions. So single sessions I loved, and I did for a long time, but single sessions can be very time consuming, especially if you are working on a lot of materials. So instead, what I would do is take basic detox, easy weight loss, or grain-free, which is paleo, or raw lifestyle, any of those short programs. And then that would be what we would go over in single session. So sit down, tell me what's going on with you. I would often have them fill out a food diary even before we met. And then I would have a sense of like what was going on, what is happening. And it also would show me their commitment. So like what were they doing? And also during the session, too often people would say, oh no, I am doing, I don't eat X, Y, Z. But then as we would go through the session, they'd be like, well, I do go into my desk and grab like 2 handfuls. I'm like, you mean like 20 almonds? Or like, they're like, no, more like 2 handfuls. So that's why I love, conversation, because, and that's why I love interaction. But during that single session, we would go over what was happening, and then I would send them the program and a few suggestions. So what you're really doing is you're buying that program and you're lessening the time that you are working on compiling session notes, doing all this different stuff. And for some of you who do run tests, or you do have additional services, maybe you are a massage therapist or a chiropractor or an acupuncturist. And so that maybe can be an add-on to your existing service, or maybe you're a fitness coach and so you want to run a group program, or maybe you have a single session, and so you offer, you know, an extra jump start, and that just leverages up your single session. Okay, Etsy's saying, shouldn't we build up and strengthen before we detox so toxins don't build back up into the blood? So Etsy, I would say this isn't necessarily a detox where we're going deep into what we call level 2 detoxification. I mean, I was even just doing a live stream in our winter closed forum earlier, and there isn't like tons of raw, I mean, you know, there are raw meals, you know, some in the morning, some at lunch, but usually when there is heavy detoxification, don't get me wrong, some people are coming off of like cheese and dairy and wheat and sludge and Diet Coke and, you know, so everyone has a different toxic load. But that's also why we have the detox tools in there, so that people are in movement, they are sweating, they are releasing. So when we do get deeper, like colonics, juicing, you know, that is the reason that you want to pull out the toxin so that you don't have a hurt summer reaction. But that daily detox should happen all the time. It shouldn't just be a once, you know, a year ritual or a 4 times a year. It should really be part, and that's what I teach people, and I teach my own babies, should be kind of part of your daily, you know, should be like waking up and, you know, drinking water. We need to learn how to do this because we're bombarded with toxins. So, I mean, it's not a program, and I wouldn't have written a program because unless you feel comfortable putting somebody through a very powerful detoxification, like maybe intermittent fasting or great fast or, you know, an all juice fast, you need to know how to be able to deal with somebody who's going through the emotional and physical detoxification that happens when we do cleanse. And so that is not something that is part of that program for that specific reason. Etsy saying she keeps coming back to gut health as a niche. So, you know, just remember, when you're thinking about your niche, not only think about what calls to you in your own story, but also think about what is marketable. So you have your niche, and then you have the message to that. So it could be like, I help women who are in, you know, their 40s who have been exhausted and they have no energy and they're overwhelmed. They're working a 9 to 5, they're coming home, they have lost their mojo, they feel overwhelmed, and they have digestive issues, their hair's falling out, they're not sleeping, they have no sex drive, and they want X, Y, Z. That can still be in the niche of digestive wellness. So when I was working, you know, and I came out of school and I was like, I'm going to work with people with digestive issues. Nobody knew what that was. And I still even think that nobody knows what that is. So just remember, your message is what is marketable, and your story is. So don't forget that you have to also stand behind what this is about. I mean, when I did Restore Your Gut Health, a lot of this was about understanding even food intolerances, understanding about like taking care of your gut and immune and all of that good stuff, so that, you know, that you really had a healthy body and that you had energy and, you know, you felt good, because what's the point of living a crappy life? And so just remember that, you know, people usually need to hear the end result, because they don't, that what we typically hear is the problem, or they don't understand things like, I help people to, you know, restore their blah, blah, blah. They need it really simple. Like, I help people who feel exhausted, who are drinking, you know, coffee all day and hitting the candy machine and can't stop eating from the office area that has the cookies that taste so good. Like, really go a little further with it. that's what makes people say, wow, you know, I really need to work with this person. Like they are understanding me. Instead of doing that typical old standard niche and pitch that was created like 5 to 7 to 10 years ago. Okay. Etsy's saying how to partner. So in the detox and a few other programs, actually, mindset, I even did a whole video on how to JV partner. I talked a lot about that, like 70-30 split, 60-40. Everyone's different. I really encourage you if you want to partner. I also have a webinar that I did before on how to JV partner, that you speak to the existing person you are trying to partner. So any one of these programs, I'd say like weight loss, grain-free, sugar could be done. That could easily be done at a gym. That could easily be done at a spa with face-to-face talks. Revitalize I've seen done also. And I did that actually with a mom's group. So you really have to talk to the person, and you have to ask them also, are you going to market for me? How are we going to split the cost? Who's going to take care of the automation, the sales page, all of that. So that's a private talk with them, and definitely create a contract, because the ownership of the program rights are yours. And you want to make sure that it's all laid out nice in a contract, so there's not any weird and uncomfortable feelings. So, okay, let's just make sure that I'm answering all these questions. Okay, yes, it's definitely more, I would say, not just a general, I would say it's more of a clean eating program. And any of the coaches who have bought that would attest, you know, that yeah, maybe if somebody's coming off years of eating absolute junk and is completely, and, you know, maybe 15 cups of coffee a day, of course there's going to be a headache if you try to, you know, not drink coffee for a week. But I think other than that, you know, I would say that the detox and the cleanse, basic or rockstar, is a clean eating program. Now, does everyone, I just want to make sure that everyone did see the replay last night. And if you are, that you have the VIP code. So I am just going to put it in here. And type it in right there. So if you are interested, that will apply to your highest priced program. So if you are at checkout and you're like, oh my God, is it going to apply? It will apply 100%. If you have any questions and you need to email me personally, like I said, I was on the phone with a few coaches today. Don't feel like it's a bother, you know. It's just kind of, this is the whole reason that we're doing these. Etsy's also saying sub-niche, liver, gallbladder, thyroid. No, I wouldn't say sub-niche would be the liver, gallbladder, thyroid, and adrenals. I would say if you wanted to sub-niche, let's say that you are working with women who have hormonal issues. Sub-niche of that is women who have hormonal issues that also suffer with anxiety. Maybe you wanted to work with like women who work corporate and are really, you know, are lacking energy and have been suffering with digestive issues. The sub-niche of that would be women who are, you know, suffering with digestive issues, have hormonal imbalances, and, you know, in constipation. So what a sub-niche is you're going off of your main niche. So maybe your main niche is like women with hormonal issues. You're going off of that and you're kind of sub-niching so that you're getting a little more specific. Does that make sense? Yes, no, I hope so. Remember, a sub-niche, a niche is the very group that you serve that has a specific problem. And the sub-niche is a certain portion of that group, of the larger group. So it's just your sub-niching of the larger group. So when you're thinking about the programs, guys, it's the message that you have behind the programs. The programs are just the foundation. It's you in front of it. I mean, that's it. It's you in front of it. It just saves you the months that it would take you to write it and do all the social media and the flyers and the marketing and the emails to write and all that. It just saves you the time, because I end up bringing on a team of about 15 people or more to do it, and me to write. So we're just saving you the time. That's really it. And some people have brilliance where they shine in certain areas. And for me, it's in writing programs. Coach D is saying, are the recipes different for all the programs? Yes. So basic is the only one that's seasonal. Easy weight loss, mindset, grain-free, restore your health. Those are all different. And if you bought one like grain-free before, you don't need to buy it again. But they're all different. And every season we create a brand new detox, a brand new cleanse. And here we have business builders. So if you are just looking for, sorry, I'm just going to close out the questions so I can just make sure they've answered them all. If you are just looking for opt-in freebies, this is also our opt-in freebie page. We have a 14-day smoothie challenge, 5-day clean eating, 4-day holiday survival, 7-day black skinny dress challenge. And then we also have a copywriting, Still My Copywriter. So if you have any questions or you have the 5-day clean eating, yeah, that's a great one. And that also, I have some clients who use that in their single session, but that's because they work with me and I give everyone a free opt-in freebie. So what's the difference between easy weight loss? Little black dress, somebody asked me this. Little black dress is, I wouldn't say that's like a program. Little black dress is just like a fun challenge. You know, maybe you could sell that for like $5. I mean, that's really where you're engaging and you're list building with people, or you're engaging so that they do work with you and hire you or buy a program, or that you bring them into your funnel. But it's not a program. It's not a full extensive guide. Our guides often range anywhere between 3,500 words to 5,000. Mindset has 6 guides. Restore Your Gut has 6 guides. Yeah, 6 guides. And those are close to 4,000 to 5,000 words each. So we pack in a lot of information, and also so that you can coach with a lot of information, and also empower and teach your clients about the things that they need to know about for their own health and for their own life. And, you know, I used to always say to my clients, my job is to teach you, so you fire me. I never wanted to like keep clients like so that it was a financial benefit. I really wanted people to fire me because I knew I was doing my job right. And still this day, I have people who come back to me who are some of my first clients. There you go, Kim, just popped it in. Okay, have people purchased 2 programs and combined them? Yes, and I did the same with something called Sisterhood Wellness. I combined detox and paleo. It was a great program. It was a lot of fun. I've actually had people email me saying, will you do this program again? So you could combine, and I think I even said this earlier, you could combine easy weight loss and sugar, easy weight loss and mindset, and make them 2 programs and make it a group, or make it a face-to-face, or put it into your one-on-one. And that's the whole idea, is that you use these programs and you optimize how you use them. You put it on your site for authority and branding, but then you also use them online or offline. I hope that helps, Tammy. No, Jen, Revitalize is not seasonal. Nope. Nope, not at all. Not at all. The only one that is seasonal is detox. And we just came out with Mindset Makeover, which is right here, which is amazing. It's 12 weeks of suggested healthy meals, vegetarian and omnivore options. And you can see you don't even get a good bird's eye look. That's what the interiors look like. It's really like yummy Buddha bowls and sushi bowls and all these fun recipes. But it really also talks about how important mindset is, how important, but it also talks about gut health, and also talks about, all that other stuff that is really, I believe, necessary for our clients to know. But it also talks about goals and healthy living and changing how we look at life, because we can do all that body work. You can eat healthy, but if we don't change how we're viewing the world, our bodies don't really change. So Jen's saying, to the rockstar detox from winter seasonal. Yes. And I said this last night. So there are people who buy spring and they shift it and change it to summer. Totally fine. I would never suggest doing a winter to a spring, because winter is all about nourishing the adrenals and the kidneys, really like deep, rich foods. And spring is all about like very light. I mean, if you look at the spring bounty, very light foods, because you have to cleanse the liver and the gallbladder. Otherwise people start to get, and you even see it right now. It's funny. If you even look at people right now, there's like irritation and anger and people even feel like uncomfortable in their upper back, and they're just like, and the winds start to pick up. And that's when like, yeah, spring is coming. And so it's so essential to start eating lighter and eating seasonal foods at this time, because that is what cleanse, the berries and the dandelion and the foods and that are brought in at this time of the year. And this is a big one. If the lovely liver is not happy, nobody's happy. It's got 500 metabolic processes. So he calls himself the general, should be very happy, even though the heart really is the empress and should control the body. The liver definitely thinks it should. So I always say, yes, you could exchange a fall and a winter, but and you could do a spring and a summer, but I wouldn't do a winter and a spring. That's just me. I 100% believe in eating with the seasons. Like, I don't think detoxes that go all year are doing people service. You don't become one with the earth by not eating with the season. Coach D is saying, how would you suggest pairing mindset with sugar without being overwhelming with all the guides? So I would first take somebody through sugar, because I do think, and this has just been my experience, or maybe it's because I'm who I am, kind of stubborn, stubborn Jewish chick from Philly, and I'm an Aries, my birthday month. But I have just found, and that most people, have a tougher time focusing on the mind first. Some people not as tough, but I would say a lot of people, they have an easier time focusing on the plan than focusing on like, wow, I have to shift my mind. Because that means like uncovering old stuff. And it means going back into the old story, and that can be painful. So I would say focus on sugar and then move into mindset. So you're bringing somebody through really a 6-month program with you. And if you get like that feeling that somebody's not ready to go to mindset, like start them with sugar and then bring in like a Louise Hay book, or have them start to journal, or like have them read Pema Chodron. Like there are ways to bring in the mindset stuff, or do affirmations, without fully but you can bring it in and see if they're ready. If they are, awesome. Like, that was one of the reasons that I wrote it. I had gone through that. And so I was like, wanted to write this program for a long time, but I can't fake the fake. You know, I mean, I in mind was here for, you know, was here for a long time. You know, I'd read God, The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck, you know, when I was 17. Had done EST, you know, and all that stuff. But in my heart, I hadn't let go. And, you know, mindset makeover was all about that. It's all about letting go. And I just felt called from soul to write it. And I will tell you, Dee, that a lot of my health issues, I won't say, you know, that, and I've always said this for years, I can't Shanti my health issues. I can't be like, psh. You know, some people believe that, and that is fine. I come from the place that it has to, yes, from a karmic standpoint, from a spiritual, from a physical and a metaphysical place, that everything needs to be in alignment for health issues to be gone and for spirit to, you know, be grounded. But I couldn't have written this before. And so I felt that it was my duty to share what I needed to go through, because my health issues have significantly lessened because I came into this place. So I hope that helps. Okay, Heather saying, I'm used to working with in-person personal training clients. I have an online group that I do custom plans for. I want to move into online coaching with them and save time in writing plans. My niche is fat loss, but all my clients have food allergies, autoimmune thyroid. I know, it's crazy, right? Isn't it crazy, Heather? So most of my plans are allergy friendly, and I want to move them into a type of teaching. So looking at Launch School, I'm so excited. We will be officially, I mean, you can buy Launch School at any time of the year, but we are officially like kicking it off on April 6th. And I just want to let you know, I do Launch School office hours every week, no matter if one person's in there. Sometimes it's just like a one-on-one. I'm like, hey, but I'm always in there, and we do have a coach moderator. Okay, so looking at Launch School and mindset to move my online plan, only my clients in a full coaching program like my personal training clients. So I happen to be talking to one of my besties today, and she is also a fitness coach. She's just, to me, she's been one of my besties for many, many years. She has been nailing the detoxes for years. She has people who just come back and come back and come back. So when people say like, will people come back to detoxes? They come back for the journey. I mean, that's what I think we forget as health coaches. We're like, why do people come back? Well, they come back because we don't have community in this world, which is why I'm not saying CrossFit is not great, but it's the community. It's you know, it's why you go to a gym. I was just talking to her tonight, and we were talking about mindset, and I was like, dude, and this is actually what I was like, dude, she's like, I want to buy mindset. And I was like, don't just buy it and not do something. Like, I love you so much, and I see you, like, move your people into something that is like really consistent. So I would say, here's just a thought before we move into like the niche part. I said, move your people from detox, which she does really well, and they would be really sad if she didn't do it, and then move them into a 3-month. And then live stream either from BeLive.com from Chrome. So you would be live streaming from your desktop into your group and like be doing these videos and be doing fitness videos, and like she's an awesome chef, and be doing cooking videos and all this stuff, and really make it like a very special thing. Or do videos that you, and like make it simple, because I think we complicate things so much, and then we feel like, how am I gonna do this? But if you make it fun and you're like, okay, this should be like fun, then you know, move them into a 3-month program or even a 6-month where they know that they're going to get workouts. So then I would say, look at either grain-free or Sugar Repair. Sugar Repair has some unbelievable recipes. It's not that I'm not looking, you guys. I'm just looking at the packages. Sugar Repair has awesome. I wouldn't do Revitalize. I think it's just too, Revitalize, when I wrote that, really was not like fat loss intended, which was why I added the 2-week weight loss, because I was working at a gym when I was doing that. I wouldn't do Restore Your Gut Health. I would either look at sugar, I think sugar, or like grain-free would be great. And so, I don't think detox is your niche. I think like really staying in that, like, you know, I just had actually a really popular fitness person buy the cleanse, but his people really wanted the cleanse, and then buy weight loss. So you could either do sugar, you could either do like easy weight loss and make that kind of like your Jumpstart Shred, and then move them into sugar, because sugar is 6 weeks. So you would have 6 weeks vegetarian, 6 weeks omnivore, and then just be changing them out. And there are so many recipes in there, Heather, that like you could literally create even more from that. And with easy weight loss, the same thing. So that's an idea. And definitely a possibility. And I think, you know, really staying in your zone of genius, which is like being a personal trainer and, you know, having like online groups and even offline and boot camps and like doing some cool push-ups and stuff like that. And even doing plank challenges, all that fun stuff, and staying where you're really good at. So that would be my thought. Does everyone agree? Is everyone in agreement here? I feel like we're on a mastermind call, which is so fun. I love these kind of things. Can I get a, oh yeah. Okay. Are we good? So, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Is the 6 weeks of launch goal, should we be doing stuff to make money? The 6 weeks of launch, so we'll be doing stuff to make money. Well, I will tell you, if we go over here, good things come to this who hustle. As Gary Vaynerchuk says, if you're doing shit that is not making you money, stop doing it. The whole goal, I think, of being a health coach is that we're doing stuff to help you, to help people. But I mean, God, if we're not making money doing it, why are we doing it? I mean, the whole goal is we want to get out of a job that is not fulfilling and do what we love and get paid doing it. So Launch School is about teaching you how to launch. It's about teaching you how to launch a program. It's about teaching you also how to launch strategically and planning a launch. Because what can happen often is the planning part doesn't happen. The launch plan doesn't get set out. The 90-day doesn't get out. The 120-day doesn't get set out. And then we're like, someone comes out of their launch and they're like, oh my God, all these people want to do, or they don't plan enough on the pre-drip or the pre-launch. They don't plan out the prices. And then all the dates aren't lined out. And especially if you're doing it by yourself, or even if you're doing it with a team, you need that spreadsheet to be like solidly laid out. So in Launch School, we do that each week together. And we usually have accountability partners, and we usually get on, you know, live streams, and we make sure that everyone's doing their work. And then often what happens is sometimes we have to go back to the drawing board. Somebody will say, you know, I'm doing this, or I beta tested, or I filled out, you know, my forms and I don't know what my niche is. And so it is a family group that you get for a lifetime access. So I would say you'll kind of see everyone have gone through one part of that, and then we re-amp back up. So there are tech tutorials like how to launch. There are classes that have already been in there. All the materials are in there. There is, I mean, it's right here. There's a lot. There is a lot. And it is packed with information. So, and, you know, I will be doing another, I will be doing another call about this, just to talk about, you know, what Launch School is. But it's also a great way to be a part of a group that is talking about launch and supporting each other and coming up with ideas and sharing in there like, hey, do you think this looks right for my cover? Or what idea do you have? Because I'm posting on this, I'm not getting traction. So yeah, if you have questions, Dee, feel free to email me, okay? Cam is saying, thanks for blaming the niche and going back and forth. Yeah, you know, I would go with the sugar, Kim. I'm even asking this, I swear, for like 6 months. And I always say to people, don't have the same conversation next year. So go for sugar. You know, I think it feels right. And I think you just got to own it and not look back, because it's energy. I mean, look, if we're eating sugar, like that kind of sugar, I mean, or even if we don't have our sugars balanced and we're eating like anything that takes them up, we feel horrible. I mean, I can't tell you how life-changing it was when I started biohacking my body, which I'm sure Coach D will attest to. So there's a natural alert day for pre-diabetes. I want to capitalize, and I think it's pretty catchy. Think of something to start promoting, but I won't have to go. You don't have to go to finish Launch School, but I will tell you, like, if you want to capitalize on that, Coach J, like, I would even start dripping it out now. That's what we talk about in Launch School. So it's like dripping it out. What's the story? What's the story behind this? And I give you ideas, and we talk about in there, and you can tag me, and you can tag one of my moderators who's unbelievable. I mean, she even does videos. And we're all in there supporting each other. So yeah, there's tons of support, not only in each of our forums. Mindset has its own forum. Detox has its own forum. It's with moderator Sarah. One of our forums is moderator Kamala, who is amazing. Sarah is amazing. They've both been with me for so long. In Mindset is moderator JJ. She's amazing. She's been with me a long time. Then in Launch School is moderator Stacy. She's amazing. And she is just there. I'm not sure how she's there as much as she is, nor Sarah. I think Sarah is up as early as I am. Kamala is Hawaii time, so she comes in a little later, and JJ is in Seattle time. But they are awesome, and we have an amazing family. And it's not just programs, it's meeting a family of coaches where there is a non-competitive nature, there is love, there is giving back, there's paying forward. And it's the reason that I also created these forums, because that didn't exist anywhere, or at least I wasn't part of that sorority crew. And so I wanted to create it. It's like, if you can't find it, create it. Okay, Kim said I'm going with detox in the gut. Wait, Kim, I think you just said you're going with sugar, right? Sugar versus gut. Okay, let's pendulum. I know you guys think we're crazy, but this is sometimes in my world how stuff gets done. All right, let's just see. Okay, it's saying we think you should go with sugar. I'm just going to say why, and I want you to think about this for all of you guys. Yes. Do I believe in crystals, pendulums, a lot of other stuff, angels? Yes. Am I a kick-ass business coach? And do I market really well? Yeah. But I also listen to what I know people would want. That's what good marketing is about. I want you to think about what your people need. Don't think about what you necessarily need. Think about, like, if I was coming to you or I was talking to you and you were saying, I really need this program. I really need, you know, I've got these skin issues. I feel exhausted. I feel like crap. You know, I'm like getting up at all times of the night. I'm constipated, or I've got hemorrhoids, or I've got, like, you know, the headaches, and my hair is falling out, and this is, you know, blah, 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 blah. Would I need a program marketable wise, we're not talking about what we need. We're talking about marketing, guys. Totally different right now. Would we need a program that probably said, I can help you to restore your digestive health and get off sugar, which will help your skin, which will help you not to have wrinkles, which will help your hair to grow back, which will help you? Or do we need, and this is just the same thing, I can also help you to restore your digestive health so that your skin glows, so you don't feel like crap anymore, so your belly isn't bloated, so you're not scared to go out and eat, so that you can learn how to handle your allergies, so that you're not living on 4 to 5 foods. Remember, both can be marketable, but think which one do you feel like you're going to have an easier time doing? Because the detox can also handle the gut. We're talking about probiotics in there, talking about cultured foods. Do you feel like the sugar now, and the sugar also has, you know, a gut portion in there, because, you know, I can't not have gut in any of the programs. Just think about it. Tammy's asking, so sugar can be spun as a weight loss. I mean, you know, this is the thing, guys. Weight loss is, I think it's one of the most complicated out of anything, because it has to do with hormones, sugars, metabolic rate. It has to go with, it has to go with cortisol levels, stress, the kind of person. I mean, there's so many factors. And also movement. Like, if you're not moving your body and your lymphatic system, how are you going to lose weight? And if you're not drinking enough, if you're not going to the bathroom, like, if somebody's constipated, how are they losing weight? So there's so many factors. But I would say that, yes, if you can get somebody to learn to, like, eat and chew, and actually chew, and not like, not emotional eat. I mean, that's why there's so much to it. That's why it's never, I love Janine Roth, never just about the food on the plate. It's an amazing, so if you have a, you know, so yes, could sugar be a weight loss? 100%. I mean, I would say that I think that I wouldn't do Revitalize as weight loss unless you add the Jump Start. But does that answer your question, Tammy? I hope so. Okay, are we all good? Are we crystal clear on all of this? Okay. Awesome, guys. It's been a pleasure to be with you. We will be here tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I really appreciate you being here on Friday night. If you have any questions about what is right for you past this webinar, just hit me up, all right? I am gonna go give my babies a kiss, and I'll see you guys later. All right, let's just make this year a different year for coaches. All right, I don't want to hear I invested X amount, I'm making nothing. I want this to, like I said, this is a new era. It has to be different. And it's only going to be different because you guys are going to message different. You're going to niche it out. Niche yourself into a corner, but have the sub niche and the different messages. All right, that's the only way it's going to roll. It's not going to roll the way it used to roll. At least that is what I am seeing. But it's a good thing. It's not a scary thing. It's a good thing, but it means that you got to tap into your own story. Your own story is your saving grace. So don't be scared to share it. The world needs you guys. All right, I need you guys, and the world needs you even more. I need you guys because if I don't hear your stories, my why doesn't get filled daily as my cash register. All right. I will see you guys soon. I'll send out the replay. I love you all. Mwah. Bye, guys. Yes, if you have any questions about getting the programs, it is yourhealthcoachbiz.com. And if you have any questions, you can email me through my site, or you can go right here. Got a question? Ask me. And it comes right to me. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.